I'm an experienced boater, marine rider, and delivery captain, and find myself on many different types of boats. Staying connected to the internet while boating is important to me. The internet provides access to detailed weather reports, information about marinas and fuel docks, and the ability to communicate via email and on the phone. Wave Wi-Fi hardware solutions allow boaters to connect to the internet further from shore and to maintain better and faster connections, whether in the marina or while underway cruising or fishing. For this demonstration, I'm connecting to the Wave Wi-Fi products using a PC, but you can just as easily connect from an Apple computer. If you use one of Wave Wi-Fi's access points or marine-grade routers, you can also connect using any type of smartphone or tablet. We will start on Wave Wi-Fi's website, wavewifi.com. On the Products and Solutions tab, I pull down to the Rogue series of products. Rogue products are Ethernet converters with built-in Wi-Fi antennas and come in various models that can be easily mounted and configured on many different types of boats. The Rogue Wave is a basic single-band unit that works well on sailboats and comes with a U-bracket style rail mount. The Rogue Reach in the center can be mounted using standard 1" by 14 mounting hardware that can be purchased at any marine store. It has a sealed bottom so that it can be ratcheted down, and is ideal for center consoles and other trailerable boats that need to be able to lower the antenna for clearance. The Rogue Pro, like the Reach, is available in both single-band and dual-band configurations. This means that they can connect to both 2.4 GHz traditional Wi-Fi as well as the newer and faster 5 GHz Wi-Fi bands. I've used the Rogue Pro extensively, as that's the unit that I have set up on my boat. Dual band is important to me because I want to be able to connect to the faster 5 GHz signals when they're available, and I can still connect to 2.4 GHz as some marinas don't have 5 GHz, and the 2.4 signal goes a little bit further. The Rogue Pro DB mounted on my boat uses a standard 1" by 14 fixed mount. A single Ethernet cable leads from the antenna to the inside of the vessel, where I have it connected to 12-volt DC. It can also be powered using AC from shore power or a generator. With the Rogue Pro DB installed on my boat and my computer connected to the Ethernet cable, I can now access the system. I simply open a browser and enter 192.168.89.1, which connects me directly to the Pro DB. Now we are looking at the scan page of the graphic user interface, which shows us available access points nearby. We can choose to sort by signal strength, band, security, and last seen. If you want to get 5 GHz signal prioritized over 2.4 GHz, you can select it here, and you can also prioritize the different categories. So now it'll search for 5 GHz first, then 2.4, and then by signal strength. Simply check the boxes and then hit update, and it will show you the available access points that have the same criteria that you're looking for. Several 5 GHz access points are available. You can see that I'm connected to Pump House, but if I wanted to connect to this other access point named Hammer Time, I would simply click on that, enter the password, and press Connect. If you'll be repeatedly connecting to a particular access point, you can make it a favorite by simply clicking the star, hitting OK, and now this access point, Pump House 5 GHz, will be placed into the favorites. If there's more than one favorite in here, you can sort them based on their signal strength or based on the order that you place them in. If you want to remove a certain access point from the favorites, you simply click the garbage can. Another feature of the graphic user interface is an ability to ignore certain access points. For instance, this is an onboard router that I don't want to connect to, so I've placed it in the ignored access point so it won't show up on the scan list. If I go to the list and look at the available wireless networks, here's a network called Ken's Wi-Fi. If I want to ignore this network, I simply highlight the MAC ID address, paste it into the address field, and press add and confirm. And now this network won't show up on my scan page. You can see that it's gone. If I want to remove it from the ignored list and bring it back to the ones that I can see on the normal scan page, I simply press the garbage can icon, confirm it, and now you can see it shows up like any other wireless network. Sometimes wireless networks have more than one access point with the same name. For example, this network, Hammer Time, has 3 different access points. By clicking on the plus button, it shows you the individual channels, and then you can connect to whichever channel you want. This is important because you can see that channel 11 has much better signal than channels 1 and channels 5 in this instance. So you could choose channel 11 and connect to that. When you're connecting on just a smartphone or on your computer or other devices, you don't get to pick which channel you're connecting to. The device automatically grabs whichever channel is available and connects to that. Particularly in crowded marinas, this is important because you can I've been in marinas with up to 10 or more access points, and you can select the one that has the best signal, and that gives you a better connection. The other thing is sometimes certain channels will get extremely clogged up with a lot of different users using that one channel. Because you can pick the channels, you could then say, well, I'm going to go to channel 1 even though the signal strength is slightly lower, and it may have more bandwidth on that channel just because there's less users that are actively on that channel at any given time. This is a great feature for connecting in crowded areas. Scrolling down the scan page, you can see all the available networks that you can connect to. At the bottom of the page, there's also a nice graph that shows you the various networks, their names, and their signal strength. If you want to find out information about the network that you're connected to, you can hit the Stats button, and this shows you a graph with the signal and the noise of the connection that you have right now. The graphic user interface, or GUI, that we've been using is actually firmware that is embedded in the unit. Wave Wi-Fi occasionally updates features and functions in the GUI, and if your unit is compatible, they provide firmware updates that will keep you running the latest version at no charge. You can check for firmware updates by clicking on the Settings button, going down to the Firmware section, and pressing the check mark. If an update is available, it will let you know. Also, when you're connected to the unit and hooked up to the internet, this banner at the top will change and tell you that new firmware is available. You can then just click on the banner, download the firmware onto your computer, then you click this arrow icon, select the firmware, and it will bring up a floppy disk icon. Once the floppy disk icon is here, you can click on that and it will update the firmware. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm running the latest firmware and it takes a few minutes to reset the system after you update it. This is a really nice feature because it means that even if you bought your unit a while back, you can still run the latest firmware and there's no charge for that. We have now reviewed the basic functions of the Rogue Pro dual band using the proprietary Wave Wi-Fi graphic user interface. This system allows you to connect your boat to the best available internet sources and the highest speed connections. Wave also has a host of other products. These include onboard yacht APs that help deliver Wi-Fi signals to hard-to-reach spots aboard larger vessels, multi-source wireless routers. Wave Wi-Fi routers allow multiple users and multiple devices to connect while on board. Some routers have built-in universal SIM slots that allow users to connect to cellular sources when out of range of shoreside Wi-Fi hotspots. They have a whole series of professional-grade equipment with multiple input, multiple out that provides the highest possible speeds and the best possible connections in an Ethernet converter. And of course, the Rogue series that we've already discussed that has both single and dual band options for multiple types of boats. If staying connected on board your boat is important, please check out wavewifi.com, as they have hardware solutions that meet the needs of every boater and work on all types of boats. Thank you for listening.